students, we have completed with the general characteristics of phylum Annelida, and today we are going to do one special example of an annelid, that is earthworm. Earthworm. Scientific name is Ferretima posthuma. It belongs to the class Oligochaeta. Oligo means few, chaeta means setae. Doesn't it have few setae? Fewer than Nereis. The other classes that belong to this phylum are Polychaeta, to which Nereis belongs to, and Hirudinaria, to which leech belongs to. We will be doing both these examples in subsequent lectures. So you know about the earthworm. Where does it live? It lives in moist terrestrial habitats. It burrows in the ground. Burrowing terrestrial, moist with fresh water. Habit: free living, detritivorous, feeds on detritus. What is the meaning of detritus? Dead and decomposing organic matter, both plant and animal origin. Symmetry: what kind of symmetry does it have? A bilateral symmetry. Coelom: it has a true coelom of the schizocoelous type. Schizocoelous type is the one in which the mesoderm splits into pouches, explained in the previous lecture. Segmentation: does it show segmentation? Yes, true segmentation is seen, which is called as metamerism. Its body is cylindrical and long with about 100 to 120 ring-like structures, which are called as, what are the ring-like structures? Called as annuli. In fact, it is from these ring-like structures, which are called annuli, which are present on all the animals that belong to this phylum, that the phylum has gotten its name, phylum Annelida. Now let us have a look at the external morphology of the earthworm. Okay, what I have shown you over here are the first 4 annuli of the earthworm on the anterior end from the lateral side. So let us have a look at the first segment here. The first segment, this entire thing is known as the peristomium. Peristomium. Stoma means mouth or opening. Peri means surrounding the mouth. That's why it's called peristomium. The peristomium has an extended projection over here, okay? A wedge-like structure which is called as the prostomium. The prostomium is an extended part of peristomium, and it is sensory in nature, and it helps the earthworm in burrowing. It will help it feel the soil and will help it in burrowing process. It is also glandular in nature. It will secrete mucus and such kind of substances which will help it in easier burrowing process. The extension of the peristomium is called as the prostomium. It is not to be considered as another segment. It is a part of the first segment itself, which is called as the peristomium. Beneath the prostomium there is this opening, which is the mouth, from which ingestion will take place. And what it will feed on? Like I told you, it feeds on detritus. So that is about the first segment, peristomium. After the first segment, you have the second, third, fourth segment. If you observe the second, third, fourth segment, you will find something peculiar. On every annuli, there will be a ring-like arrangement. This is the ring of setae. Setae are chitinous extensions from the body wall which help the earthworm in locomotion. They are retractile extensions on the body wall which the earthworm will use for locomotion, along with the longitudinal and circular muscles, already explained in the general characteristics. Such kind of ring of setae will be found on all the segments of the earthworm except for the first segment, that is the peristomium, the last segment, which is the anal segment, and 14th, 15th and 16th segments, okay, which are somewhat different from the rest of the segments. I will tell you what is so special about the 14th, 15th and the 16th segments. Present on all segments except first, last which is the anal segment, and 14th, 15th and 16th segments. Okay, we are looking at the rest of the segments. This time I would like to show you the ventral view of these segments. Let's start with the 14th, 15th and 16th segment. What is so special about the 14th, 15th and 16th segments? So if you look carefully, the 14th, 15th and the 16th segments will be covered by a glandular epithelium in such a manner that you won't be able to clearly distinguish between the 14th, 15th and the 16th segment. They wouldn't be seen independently as such. What has happened over here is that the 14th, 15th and the 16th segments have been covered by a glandular epithelium, and it has created a structure which appears like this externally, and this structure over here is known as the clitellum. The clitellum has a role to play during the earthworm's reproduction process, and we will discuss that shortly. Clitellum is nothing but the glandular epithelium covering the 14th, 15th and the 16th segments, and the clitellum is known to have a role in the reproduction process, which is specifically called as cocoon formation. It has a role in cocoon formation, which is a part of its reproduction process. We will discuss what this is when we are discussing about its reproduction. On the 6th, 7th, 8th and the 9th segments, there is something peculiar. Balloon-shaped structures are found in 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th segments, whose openings are found in the grooves in this manner. For instance, the opening of this pouch in the 6th segment lies between the 5th and the 6th segment, and so on. These pouch-like structures are known as spermathecae. What are spermathecae? Spermathecae are pouches which are meant to store sperms from the other earthworm. You know that the earthworms are hermaphrodites. You know this, don't you? One earthworm has both male as well as the female reproductive systems onto it. Now that doesn't mean that one earthworm will fertilize its own eggs using its own sperms. No, they don't do that. What do? They will prefer to mate with other earthworms. They will like to fertilize their eggs by the sperms taken from some other earthworm. So during the mating process, the earthworms are going to receive the sperms of the other earthworm and store them in the spermathecal pouches. Both of them simultaneously will exchange the sperms. A will give its sperms to B, B earthworm will give its sperms to A, and they will store these sperms into their spermathecal pouches, and thereafter, using the sperms which they have obtained from the other earthworm, they are going to fertilize their eggs. Is that clear? So despite being hermaphrodites, the earthworm prefers to undergo cross fertilization, and for that they will ensure that during the copulation process the eggs are not available of either of them. They will not produce their eggs first. They will ensure that only the sperms are produced first. This process, in which only the sperms are produced first and the eggs are matured later on, this process is known as protandry, which the earthworms follow. The earthworms are said to be hermaphrodites, and for carrying out cross fertilization they undergo protandry, protandrous. Let's come back to spermathecae. These are pouches to store sperms from another earthworm. They are located in 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th segments. However, these openings, which are called as the spermathecal pores, they are in between the segments. Okay, by the way, the spermathecae are found in 2 pairs. So there are 4 pairs of spermathecae. 4 pairs present. Spermathecal pores are present in between the 2 segments. Spermathecal pores located in 5th, 6th, 6th, 7th, 7th, 8th and 8th, 9th intersegmental grooves. Next, they are known to have both male and the female reproductive systems. So where are those male and female reproductive systems? The female reproductive system will have an opening on the 14th segment. Here it is, through which the eggs will be released. This is known as the female genital pore. Female genital pore. Okay, the female genital pore is found in is a single pore. It is found in the 14th segment, and the location is mid-ventral. It's in the middle and in the ventral location, mid-ventral. Its function is production of eggs. This is about the female reproductive system. Then the male genital pores are found in the 18th segments. The male reproductive system will open through 2 male genital pores. Male genital pores. Let's write down about male genital pores. They are paired, not single as in the female genital pore. They are found in the 18th segment, and the location is ventrolateral. Ventral side, and on the lateral side, ventrolateral. Function is production of sperms. So this is where the female and the male reproductive systems will have their openings. Other than these, on the 17th and the 19th segments, there will be such kind of structures which are called as the copulatory setae. What are these copulatory setae? Also called as copulatory papillae. These are special type of setae which will help the earthworm in grabbing hold of its partner during the copulation process. They are paired and they are found on the 17th and the 19th segments. Copulatory setae / papillae, they are paired, found in the 17th and 19th segments. The function is holding the partner during copulation. I would also like to add to this table spermathecae. Spermathecae are paired, found in which segments? 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th, and the function is storage of sperms. Of who? Of own? No, of the partner. Of partner. Spermatical openings are also paired and they are found in the 5th, 6th, 6th, 7th, 7th, 8th and 8th, 9th segments. And the function is entry and exit also of sperms. Spermatical pores. This is an important table with the locations. Please study them properly. Reproduction process. First things first, earthworms are hermaphrodites. Earthworms are hermaphrodites, however, prefer cross-fertilization. And for this, the mechanism that they adopt is protandry. They are said to be protandrous, wherein only sperms mature first, eggs mature later. At the time of copulation, only the sperms are matured first. Now what happens during the reproduction process? The first stage is the copulation, wherein earthworm A will copulate with earthworm B. How does that happen? They will align themselves ventral to ventral side, okay, to each other, such that the 18th segment of earthworm A will align properly over the spermathecae, that is the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th segments of earthworm B. Similarly, the 18th segment of earthworm B will align over the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th segments, that is the spermathecae of earthworm A. The 18th segment, which carries the male genital pore of earthworm A, will align with the spermathecae of earthworm B, okay, that is the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th segments, okay, and the 18th segment of earthworm B will align with the spermathecae of earthworm A, and in this process the copulatory papillae will help them in holding the position. The copulation will take place. At the end of copulation, when the earthworms separate, the spermathecae of both earthworms will be filled with sperms of the other earthworm. During copulation, mating, two earthworms align ventral to ventral, heads in opposite directions. Both act as males simultaneously. 18th segment of each earthworm aligns with spermathecae, that is the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th segments of partner earthworm. Sperms are stored in spermathecae, after which the earthworms separate. The female reproductive system will become active now. The eggs are going to be produced from the 14th segment. Eggs are going to be released from 14th segment. But if you see, the 14th segment is covered by this clitellum. What the clitellum is going to do now, it is a glandular epidermis. Like I told you, it is going to secrete a lot of nourishing substances like mucus, okay, to keep the eggs moist. Another substance like albumin, which is going to nourish the embryos. Fine, they are going to secrete a lot of these substances. So in these fluids, the eggs will be present inside the clitellum, isn't it? So what is now going to happen is the earthworm is going to move behind like this. It's going to move behind and the clitellum is going to come forwards towards the anterior part of the earthworm's body, and slowly the clitellum is going to reach the segments where the spermathecae are. The spermathecae carrying the sperms of the other earthworm are going to be released into this clitellum once the clitellum passes over the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th segments. And then this clitellum is going to be released from the earthworm's body and it will be shed out. And this structure is now going to be called as the cocoon, and inside which will be present the eggs and the sperms of the other earthworm. And guess what is going to happen now inside this cocoon? Fertilization will take place. Internal fertilization it is called. This ring-like girdle of skin that will be released will be packed on both the sides, okay, to keep the moisture intact. After fertilization, the eggs will mature into embryos and soon the earthworms will come out of them. About 1 to 3 earthworms will be present inside a cocoon and they will be then liberated. The direct type of development, it is no larval stages present. Clitellum secretes mucus, albumin. This is for moisture, mucus is for moisture, albumin is for nourishment. Earthworm now moves backwards. The clitellum comes over, spermathecae, the sperms are collected. Clitellum is then released from anterior side as cocoon. So the clitellum is involved in the cocoon formation. This is how it is. Inside the cocoon, internal fertilization takes place. This is important, internal fertilization. Development is direct. There is no larva. 1 to 3 earthworms arise per cocoon. And this is how the reproduction process will complete. Body color is brown due to a pigment. Which pigment is that? Porphyrin pigment, right? It is a brown color pigment and it protects the earthworm from the harsh sun's rays. Also provides it with camouflage. It lacks eyes and ears and has instead photoreceptors and chemoreceptors. In the name of Lord Mahadev, please subscribe.